So hello friends, I am Neeraj. In this session we will be talking about anonymous functions in much detail. So in the previous session we have seen about functions. So what functions are and how we can use it. So that thing we know. So but in this session let us try to understand what anonymous functions are and how anonymous functions are different than the normal functions. And that is the concept, that is why anonymous functions are widely used while we work with Go routines, and because the reason being they are very handy. So let us try to understand. First we will create a function. So let us say we are having a variable and x, and here we will display the variable x. So we will say fmt dot println, and we will say value of x, and we will pass our variable. So okay, fine. So if we run our program with go run main.go, so we are getting the output. Okay, so I forgot a v. Okay, fine. So for example, say now let us try to create a function which is so that we can display the, because we want to have this our display logic in a different function. So let us say we will create a plain function to display x, and here we will try to fmt dot println, and we will say value of x inside display function, display x. And here if we are trying to access the variable x, so also let us try to call it display x. So here actually, however, we have called this function, invoked this function, but we are not able to get the value x in our function display x. Reason being, because we are trying to access the variable x, and if you hover on this x, so actually the variable x is undefined. Our compiler is complaining. Reason being, x is not defined into this function, rather x was defined in the main function. So or if we want to access the value of x in our different function, so we need to pass this value x somehow, so there as a parameter, so like this, and we have to collect it here in the function as an argument. And now it is pretty valid, and if we run our program again, so we are getting it right. So value of x inside our display x, so that is right. But so this is the one way, this is the way how we can pass the value from one function to another. But on the contrary, let us try to understand what we can do with the anonymous functions. So let us say we are creating an anonymous function, and since we are also we are going to invoke it with this one, and let us copy this statement and we will write it here, and here we will say value of x inside anonymous function, anonymous function. Okay, so ideally if it were a pure function, normal function, so we would not be able to get the variable x. But let us try to run our program. So here we are getting the we are able to access the variable x from inside an anonymous function. And basically this is a very important concept while working with Go routines. So Go routines, while we and in coming sessions, so while we work with Go routines, so this kind of anonymous functions, they are very handy, and we can access the variables defined inside the function at the same scope, at the same level, very easily without explicit parameter passing. Okay, so this is one thing, and there is one more thing that makes anonymous functions much more powerful. So here let's say we have invoked our anonymous functions here, and we are able to print the variable x, and after this our anonymous function, so we are also displaying the function. So let us call it value of x outside of anonymous function for the sake of clarity. Okay, so we are getting the value 10. Now for example, say in our business logic, maybe if we reinitialize the value variable x from 10 to 20, so let us see what happens. So ideally all we are doing it inside the function, inside this curly braces, and we haven't declared this variable, but let us see what happens. So here actually the value of x inside the anonymous function was 10, and at this line number 17, when we are trying to print the value of x from outside the anonymous function, so we are getting the output as 20. So that means, in other words, so whatever variable that was initialized, that were reinitialized at here, actually first it was initialized here, declared and initialized here, and we were able to get this variable inside our anonymous function. So here we are reinitializing it from x is equal to 20, and outside of this function call, we are able to get this variable, this value, from outside of this anonymous function. So these are the two important concepts, so that makes it anonymous functions very much powerful. However, there is a catch. So what if however all these are actually a part of we will learn more about the understanding about this scoping when we learn about the scoping. So there are multiple levels of scopes, but if we don't want to if, for example, say if we want to have this value as only available only inside this our anonymous function, so we can go this way. So just like x is equal to 20, and if right now if we try to access it, so in let us try to run our program. So here actually, so inside our anonymous function we are getting the value of x as 20, but outside of anonymous function we are getting the value of x as 10, because reason I will explain it here. So this x basically that is directly coming here, and the value 10 is printed here, and wherever inside this function, actually with this statement we are creating a new variable x with the local scope is only inside this anonymous function, and actually this variable x will be available only inside this function, and this x is coming here. Okay, so this is basically you can think of it as we are actually doing some kind of shadowing. So this is a local variable. We declared a variable x as the local one, and this x is not having the any reference outside of this anonymous function, this curly braces. So this is a major concept about anonymous functions. So these are the things which are widely used in the working with many complex codes or many complex situations. So you will very often see this kind of stuffs. So that is why I thought it is better to have this understanding while we are learning the functions. Okay, so that's all for this session. I hope you enjoyed this session, and if you have anything to say, so please do let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in some other session. So till then, take care and happy coding.